Baby, Graph Champs, we live, baby, we live. Shit alive. Shit alive, baby, shit alive. We live, baby, it's Graph Champs. We back, baby. Graph Champs, shit alive. Sorry, I'm a couple of minutes late. I had a, yo, what's up, too? Salute, my brother. I just had a couple of technical difficulties. Salute OD, my brother, and shit, you know what I mean? I'm your host. This is Graph Champs Season 4 episode. What's good, my brother? Big Joe 21 in the house, you know what I'm saying? And Rav 1, my brothers, you heard? Yo, salute, damn. Yeah, like I said, yo, salute to everybody, man. It's Graph Champs, we back. Let me just put on my intro music real quick and get it out the way, because I got a couple of announcements real quick. You know what I mean? Oh, my God.
Diablo,
shit alive.
General, full blast the beat, God. Grab, chant, yeah, grab, chant, grab, chant, yeah, grab, chant, Shout out the
What up, Sue?
Shout out the
Crisco!
Shout out the Graph Champs.
Shit alive.
Shout out the Graph Champs.
JC3.
Welcome. Tune in to Graph Champs.
Yeah.
We appreciate the love and support for all the Graph Champs.
Shit alive,
the most amazing and iconic artists out here smashing it from the train yards to the rooftops to the storefronts, highways catching wreck. That's all the general. He be going crazy, bro, from his Instagram account, Supreme Clientele Radio. Interviewing all the icons, the ones that led the way. Salute to all the fallen legends, the ones that set the stage. Moment of silence, let us remember those. Whether they family or they were friend or foe. Hate them or love them, let's show them some respect. Major contribution in hip-hop, Graph Champs to the death. Ready and willing, never scared to fry.
Never.
Chancing the odds of getting up, prepared to rise. Super talented vandals, never scared to die. Let's show them love while they breathing. Go ahead and share the life. So tell a friend to go and tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Interviews are dope, from the starter to the end.
Diablo!
Let's show them love and call it glory time. Repost his post on your post, share his post up on your storyline.
Just.
So tell a friend to go and tell a friend. Interviews are dope, from the starter to the end. Let's show them love and call it glory time. Repost his post on your post, share his post up on your storyline. That's all the go.
Yo, my bad, yo. This is Graph Champs, Season 4, Episode 6. We got one of the gods in the house, SKEME T.M.T, bro. Wild style, you heard? This is crazy right now. But before we even get into that, yo, hold on. I see y'all chiming in and shit alive, bro. I want to say a big rest in peace, man, to my brother Deck, WGF. DECK, the Blockbuster King, one of the Tunnel Kings, a Bed-Stuy legend, a Brooklyn legend, a Graffiti legend, a big homie, a great dude, man. I don't even know what to say, bro. This shit shocked me. His brother let me know he passed away this morning, bro, and we just want to celebrate that brother's life. And I'm so happy and grateful that I got to interview him on Graph Champs. So if anyone wants to hear this brother speak about his life and just hear his voice, you could go to Graph Champs, you know, press the link in the bio and you could go find his interview. Salute, TD, I see you. Rest in peace, Big Deck, bro. He didn't even have to do the interview with me, you know what I'm saying? And he came and he shared his story, you know what I'm saying? Because of the love that he has for Graph, man. So we got to keep this brother's name alive. Salute to Sense, bro. My first interview, G-Stack and Sense. Salute to you, big brother. Yeah, this is very shocking. The motherfucking Graph world lost another one, man. So I just want to tell everybody, man, it's simple. We never know when it's our last day, man. You never know when it's going to be your last minute on earth. Salute, Vice. You know what I'm saying? So take care of yourself, man. Be close to your loved ones. You know what I'm saying? All your brothers that you grew up with, all the niggas that you consider brothers and trust, yo, call them up. See how they doing, man. You know, be in their lives. Give good vibes, man, because you never know when it's over. You know what I'm saying? I'm here with my brothers, Joe 21 and Rav, and I just want to say on that, I love y'all niggas, bro. Thank you for being my brothers, bro. These niggas never let me down. Never. Yo, the best. These are the best niggas that. Yo, bro. Salute to my brother Nico. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Fez. Everyone. You know what I mean? But I can't stress it enough, bro. You never know when it's your last day, man. Rest in peace, Big Deck. You heard? Um, I want to shout out to everybody that's still keeping the graph shit alive, that's killing streets. The kid that writes New and the kid that writes Pace, they're destroying shit with tags everywhere, all city boroughs. Just shout out to Sag and Muck. They're doing fill-ins everywhere, all 5 boroughs. Just did y'all niggas see anybody killing shit right now that y'all want to big up? Who? Zoot. Oh, Zoot. Shout out to Zoot, Z-O-O-T. He's killing shit. DR, you know, DR1, salute, you know, Pressure Paints, you know what I'm saying? Niggas is killing shit. We gotta big these niggas up. Salute Hawkeye, I see you. Salute Ray, that's my brother in the building, you heard? He's the one who got me the Graph Champ sign, you know what I'm saying? My brother Ray, you know what I'm saying? Salute to the whole KED, DTF, FTR, Nova team, Era, U2K, TDO 501 reunion next week. Salute. I hit up my brother Damp, you know what I'm saying? If you want to know the location or you want to promote the event, 501 reunion next week. Shout out to the whole 501, Namski and everyone, you heard? So now without further ado, like I said, we got the big TMT God in the building, Scheme. So let me see if I could get him in here. Boom, yo, Scheme. I'm about to send you a request right now. How the fuck do I do that? Right here, boom. Right here, Scheme, 3-yard king. You know what I'm saying? We gotta keep this shit going. I've been gone for a minute, you know what I'm saying? I came back. I'm not gonna turn my back on y'all. You know what I'm saying? Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go, big Scheme. Yo, you hear me, bro?
Yo, we hear you.
Yes. Here we go. Graph Champs, episode 6, motherfucking season 4. All right, yo, before we even get into this, I just want to say Scheme, TMT, just the waves, the impact, the legendary status, the dedication that you guys put into this game is unmatched. It's because of dudes like you that the next era came out killing shit that influenced niggas like me. So you guys are goats upon goats upon goats, and we appreciate immensely you sharing any of your stories with us in your time, yo. Salute, man, salute.
Peace. First thing I want to say is I got with me my big brother, CHAIN3, TMT elder, man. So peace to y'all.
All right, peace out, everyone.
Salute, Chain.
Yes.
Yo, so like I said, thank you again, and we're just gonna start in Graph Champs fashion. We start all the way from the beginning. So this is the first question, guys. What got you into graffiti in the first place, right from the beginning?
Go ahead, Chain.
No, well, they were doing something. I went to junior high school, 98, Herman Ritter. So what happened, you know, we be hanging in the boys' room, you know, everybody be doing their thing, you know, like the coolie high thing, shooting dice, whatever, and things they doing in the boys' room. So I seen these guys, they had a book, and it had like some drawings in there. So I was just peeping it out because I was into drawing, you know, just straight up drawing, you know, portraits and all that. So after a while, I guess they see me looking at it, and you know, I seen a couple of names, and they slammed the book on me. And the one that was in my class, Tony Tone from Cold Crush, I call him Angelo King or whatever, but that's Tony Tone from Cold Crush. We was in 7th, 8th, and 9th grade together.
From the Cold Crush brothers?
Excuse me?
From the Cold Crush brothers?
Yes.
Who?
Yeah. Yeah, he was in my class. So I asked him, what the hell was this, you know? And little did I know, and things, everybody in my class was writing and things, and he showed me stuff on the walls, and, you know, he showed me, you know, what this phenomenon thing was. And you know, this is when I found, you know, he showed me the walls in the hallway, and I liked the way he tagged his name. So he, you know, I didn't know what name to choose. So I said, look, man, you write CHAIN2, I'll write CHAIN3. He said, man, my girl write CHAIN3. I said, man, nah. but CHAIN3 stuff. So, you know, that's you know, like pretty much, you know, like Tony Tone from Cold Crush was my introduction introduction into this
So
universe.
that solidifies it for me because a lot of people don't think that hip hop is like, I mean, graffiti is like a part of the hip hop culture. And you're saying from the Jump Street, one of the Cold Crush brothers had a black book and it started with the art.
Yes.
So that solidifies it for me because a lot of dumb people they don't put the graffiti in with, you know, they separate the two worlds. And I'm like, yo, hip hop is, we already know, breakdancing, DJing, MCing, graffiti, fashion. You know what I'm saying?
I was Ramsey Rams from the Cool Out Crew. So hey, you know, we were DJing and plus writing. So, you know, KADE 198 was Kid KC. You know, we had the Cool Out Crew together. So, like I said, mostly we were meshed together, you know, bombing and DJing. So that was our thing. Go ahead, Skeme.
What about you, Scheme? What about you? How did you get into it from the beginning?
Well, I guess getting into it, you know, just growing up in the city, you see it, and of course, you know, you start wondering how they did it, who did it, and all of that. And then if you get lucky enough, like these guys, you go to schools where there's a lot of writers at the school, so you get exposure. I wasn't that lucky because I went to private school for the first few years, so wasn't no writers in my school, so I didn't get an early education. I was a late bloomer, you know what I'm saying? But just by sheer luck, you know, I just took an interest into it. Of course, I could always draw a little bit, and then I had a good friend, which was Mr. Mean, who's also a TMT member, and it was also an MC. He went by the name of MC Funky Man back in the days, which we did a few flyers and stuff, you know, for parties back in the days, and that's how, you know, I kind of got introduced to, you know, characters and things. But anyway, I was sketching one day and I was just writing a toy name. As you know, everybody done probably heard this story by now. But long story short, I didn't even know my man wrote. And when he saw me tagging, he was like, "What you doing?" I said, "Yo, I'm writing." He was like, "Yo, you a toy?" This, that, and the third. And I was like, "Well, what's a toy?" I was so much of a toy, I didn't even know what a toy was. So, you know, I was a super toy.
Yeah.
And, but anyway, he kind of schooled me, and he was like, "Well, yo, boom, I know all of these dudes. I know CHAIN3, I know KADE, Team, Fuzz, EC3, Case 2. And I was like, what? I thought he was lying, you know what I'm saying? I was like, there's no way because I didn't even know he wrote. And then he was like, yeah, you know, Case 2, he got one arm, and, you know, be popping wheelies. And I'm like, man, ain't no way there's a dude with one arm popping wheelies and riding unicycles and shit. And so I thought everything he was saying was, you know, he was just boasting and bragging. But truth be told, you know, he was telling the truth. He was from Forest Project. Matter of fact, up with Phase 2, he lived in the same building, which, by the way, is how I met Phase. He was the person that introduced me to Phase. And again, on my toy status, when he took me to meet Phase, I was so much of a toy, I didn't even know who Phase was. You know, Phase came out the door. He was like, "Yo, I want you to meet my man." He was like, "Yo, this is a new writer, Scheme." I was a super toy, man. And, you know, at that time, Phase was looking like 8 feet tall, you know what I'm saying? And, but, I mean, I'm talking to him, and I don't even know, you know, the significance of who I'm speaking with. But anyway, that part, you know, I was just blessed, man, to meet. Like, I never thought I would meet these guys because really they had stopped writing. TMT had kind of chill. You know, they prime period was probably 76, you know, 76. Well, I'm talking, you know, just a little bit prior to the foundation of official TMT 77, but T and KADE then was writing, Chain was writing 75, and then stretching on to the formalization of TMT with the 77. So they was hot from 77, 78, 79, even up until 80, and then tapering off like 80, 81. And so when I started writing, like these dudes was, I mean, I thought I would never meet them. And lo and behold, yo, I went under meeting every single one of them, you know, and getting down with them. And, you know, that's just how it started. So that's my kind of genesis story.
And you guys, your story started in the Bronx, in the BX, right?
Yeah. Well, his did. Mine started in Harlem.
Harlem. So could you paint a picture of how it was back in those days, in these years? Because, you know, you say 1976. I was born in late 1975, December. So when you guys were just starting, I was coming out the fucking womb.
Hey,
so
stop that born in 75 stuff. Cut it out.
No, well, when we were doing stuff like in the early days, it was more or less more respectful. We when I came along, I came along, I was the second generation writer. You have the senior writers and whatever. We can call them seniors now. But we're getting around to that. So, but, you know, those were stars. You know, that whoever did it's funny how you look at it and things, man. The guy who rapped the most and things, man, he was like the king or whatever and things, you know. And you've seen those guys that the most pieces you see is the guy who racked the most and things, and racking means, you know. So it's like, you know, you had like guys that were kings, but we looked upon these guys as our idols. When I went to the bench for the first time, it was like they were stars. It's whoa, man, that's Cliff sitting on the bench there, and Cliff 159. Wow, you know, he had his leg up on the bench, and you know, I was like a kid in the candy store, you know, looking at everybody, you know, Hulk 62 talking to Stan and Turk 62, you know, like it's like wow and things, and then all of a sudden, you know, you open your book and then you show your book around and things. Yo, guys is like, yo, this is nice, this is cool, this is nice, and then that one writer comes out that, yeah, this is nice and things, but where's it on the train, man? You a toy. So it's like, Bench turns around, whoa! But in all irony, it's funny how life is and things, man. Like that was B3, B33YB, because they were all over the place. KADE 2, So 5, and Cliff 159. They were all over the place. Jester, you know, T.M.T. So they were controlling the line in the second generation. So when I came out, this is where all I was looking at, Big 149 and all of that. So the first time I was lucky, you know, to go to Baychester with AJ 161, Derby, I believe Mr. Jinx, and we met Hyson and Kid 17 in there, you know, like everybody's doing their pieces and whatnot. So I was one, you know, if you had a stigma or something, like a dead eye or something like that or whatever, you would know it anyway. Like Case had his one arm or whatever. So my first piece was next to this guy named Stud 2, Carl. So when the pieces came at the bench and whatnot, you know, it's like, yeah, man, my piece came at the bench and things. And that one person, B3, is like looking at you, and he turns around, looks at it, he says, "You did that? Notice I ain't call you a toy no more." So I was like, man, that did it for me, man. And then I was on the way and things, man. So please, being a writer is like, it's wild, man. I'm telling you. But in the early days, you went through things like that because you seen them as like esteemed guys and things. And, you know, these guys racked up like hell and things. But, you know, the respect that you had and things, man, you didn't really want to be called a toy. You wanted to get that stigma off your back and whatever. And now you one of the guys and whatnot and things, man. And it's like a stadium that was in that little bench and whatnot and things. You know, they made benches in Manhattan. They made benches out in Brooklyn and whatnot, you know, and then they'll judge the which kind of line is the best or whatever and things, which goes through the city and which stays out to a certain, you know, line and things. It's, oh, the 6 don't go nowhere. I said, man, you know, this person, man, look, I like the 2s because the 2s go to Brooklyn and back and whatnot. So everybody had their little thing about it. Go ahead, Skip. I know I talk too much.
Nah, that's all good. Don't bother me. But let me say this before I forget, because you know we may run a short on time, and I want to give some shout out to a couple of them cats, some bombing cats. One of them you already named, Zoo. Come on, KADE. Y'all scream out and get KADE on the camera. Okay, but I want to give a shout out to your man you named earlier, Zoo, right? Who's straight crushing. I was out in Brooklyn, Greenpoint area. Everywhere you look up, he's coming down the side like Batman. You know what I'm saying? He's coming down the side, he's coming down the front. Zoo. Also, another kid smashing is Zers. Of course, he's been smashing for a long time. And of course, you know I love one of my favorites is Sucky Bat, Ola.
My nigga, Sucky Bat.
Yeah. Yeah, so some of those cats, man. So the reason I say that, man, 'cause I want y'all to know, man, that we not of the school where we looking down on the new cats and if it's not burners, it's not if it's that's a throw up, that's why first of all, the throw up itself has evolved, man, like so much over the years. And as much as I hate to say it, Chain may disagree, may not want me to mention his name, but the truth is the truth. But Cap to me is one of the people that really how can I say elevated the throw up, so to speak, that took it from just a watery bubble to something that had to be stylish, so to speak, and even more precise. I think he was the one that made it. The standard was it had to be precise and look the same every time. Before that, throw-ups was relatively loose, and you could just kind of boom, throw up a low outline, miss the feeling or whatever. But when Cap came along, he made it more almost. I don't want to use the term piece because it's still a throw-up, but he increased the standard to where it basically had to look the same every time. So when you look at some of these guys like Zers, if you take Zers for example, it's like he takes a stamp, pow, 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 it's the same joint every time. And so the elevation of throw up itself is an art, man, to rock that. So I respect that. I respect the getting up. We respect all aspects, of the writing game, man, not just the burning game. But
so when you first started writing, was your mentality like I just want to get up as fast as possible, or
let me
was
tell
it like
you. Let me tell you. I was told three things. I was told a whole lot, but the three most important rules is number one, don't bite. Okay, that's number one, don't bite, right? And the second thing, and you got to understand, there's a difference between biting and influence. We all influence, right? But biting is once you get the influence, you get stuck there, and you morph into the person instead of changing the DNA of what you're saying. We've all been influenced. So number one, don't bite. The second thing I was taught is never do the same piece twice. Okay, that's the second thing. And the third thing was don't.
They got the same letters and
That's
they
right.
just do 100 same shits with different
And the
colors.
third thing is, which still holds true today, is don't snitch. Okay, so don't be a snitch. So these is the three rules that I live by, right? And then I was told, listen, man, you want to get up and you want to take king, right? And then once it was explained to me what it took to do that, I was explained all city. Now I'm glad we got some generational things here because he's from a different time, and sometimes different things take on meanings over time. So I'm gonna talk about in my time period. What I was taught all city was being up in all of the four boroughs. It wasn't five boroughs at that time, because even though there was some graph flourishing in Staten Island, it really wasn't on the map because it wasn't on the trains, right? And it wasn't running across some of these established benches like they had in Brooklyn, and then also, of course, the Grand Concourse, and then early on the Writers' Corner. But so. Now, what was I saying? Talking about what?
The rules. You were talking about the three rules.
Oh, yeah, graffiti rules. Oh, no, all city. So I was taught that all city was being up in all five boroughs. And I've heard people of late, and maybe Chain has said some light, saying that you had to be up on every line, right? Now, that wasn't my understanding. I don't know anybody who was up on every line. Right? Well, I don't. Well, maybe you'll tell, but I don't know anybody who took king or was up on every line. But I know people who was up on lines that ran through every borough. But anyway, that's what I was taught. Yo, you need to go all city. You need to take king. This is what it takes to take king. And I started out on the insides. And so, even before writing, my initial love was bombing the insides, right? Even for piecing. I bombed the insides for an entire year before I even ventured out to piecing, right? I bombed the inside for an entire year.
When people were first starting in the train era, was it a usual thing for them to start on the insides, practicing with tags, drippy shits, markers?
Yeah, that was definitely the first thing you learned. And I'm talking about my era to anybody's era. If you first come out and think, because you don't really know nobody and whatnot, and the first thing you're gonna do is motion tag. And that's like
never did
down.
It. Never did.
See, that's a different era. You gonna motion tag, And then you're going to go from last stop to last stop. That's going to be the first thing you're going to do. And then you go on last stop to last stop, you're going to meet people that's tagging and things, man, from last stop to last stop, you know. But then when you meet somebody, the inside people, this is when you know, they know the inside, though. We can go to a layup. You're like, whoa, layup and things. What's that? And things, you know, they take you to the park trains. Excuse me, I'm moving for over KADE. Like they take you to the park trains and things, and then you go crazy and things. You know, I didn't go to, you know, I went a couple of times, and, you know, whatnot, you know, with the All Stars and things. You know, like I was lucky to go with James Dean, BYP, and Jester in the 3-yard. And then what happens and things, you know, you know, they were tagging the windows with white, you know, so they're bombing and whatnot. My inside experience and whatnot with All Stars, you know, so it's like you're bombing with them, and then you're the only one with a can of black and whatever, and then the fun stops when everybody goes.
But
Yo, you
listen.
hold on. He says, yo, you get a Jester's like, yo, who's got the can? And they, anybody got any more white or whatever? And they said, no, I got the can of black. He said, nah, man, let's break out, man.
But it just goes to show you how things change over time, because when they first moved from the walls to the trains, 72, 73, motion tagging was an accepted practice, right? But by the time the late the late 70s to 80s came along, motion tagging was for toys. Okay, only toys motion tag. So things changed, but also the aspect of motion tagging changed, because early on motion tagging was not really some of it. The more braver ones was not covert, like on a sneak tip in an empty car. Some of the early motion tagging was like bravery, doing it right in front of passengers, like letting them see you doing it. Like, so what? Like, it was like a dare thing, right? But then it evolved into doing it sneakily when you're in an empty car, and so on and so forth. And then eventually it was like only toys motion tagging. If you want to be a real writer, you got to go to the yards, you got to go to the layups. And yo, also we just got in the room. We got our president, T.M.T. president, K198.
How you doing?
Salute. The press, TMT, bro, that shit just holds weight. You know what I'm saying? Word, like, that shit is crazy, right? It's like, you see, I grew up watching the trains, and I wanted to do it so badly, but when I got old enough, the trains was gone already. So I became infatuated. Yeah, but it's not the same. Like, you see how you're saying, oh, you're in the bench and your shit is coming by. It's not like that. You know what I'm saying? I wish. You know what I mean? But that's why I'm so intrigued and crazy about the history of the yards, because I never went to a layup and bomb trains. You know what I'm saying? That to me, that shit is the only thing that I would love to experience. Like, but it's gone for me, because you go now, it's going to be just for a photo. It's not going to run. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the same. It's whack, man.
Yeah. I first started out on the layups too, though. I didn't do yards. I originally, was hitting the layups as far as tagging went. I was doing the layups, and then eventually you start just killing the yards to get more trains, A layup is just like maybe 1 or 2, maybe even 3 stops, but eventually we branched out to the yards for the insides, and we just start destroying it every weekend, doing layups and yards.
Back in those days, did y'all do garbage trucks too? Did you rock like garbage trucks?
Well, when I first started writing, I was hitting bus terminals. That's when I first started writing. Before I even went to the trains, I was doing the buses. We used to hit the bus terminal at 174th Street in the Bronx. And then there was a larger bus terminal at West Farms off of Tremont Avenue. That was like the biggest bus terminal in the Bronx. So we used to go there and really destroy the buses there. It was like hundreds of buses, like a bus yard.
We got to give a rest in peace to Spawn. Spawn was the king of the garbage trucks in Manhattan.
Spawn, you
You
said?
know them? Yeah, Spawn, yeah. But I was like, hey, man, he's doing top to bottoms on garbage trucks? But hey, you do what you got. It thinks if that's what you got, it thinks, man, hey, do it. And this dude did top to bottom 3Ds and things, man, on garbage trucks. So
That was
give it a
before
shot.
my time. I don't
No, that's after. That's
It was
after
after?
us.
I don't remember
That's
that.
after us in Manhattan. Spawn, yeah.
That's dope.
What about throw ups? When y'all first started writing and shit, and you got your tag, like, all right, I'm gonna stay with this tag. Did you practice throw ups right away, or it was just tagging and then the throw ups came along?
Yo,
How? What
I
about
was
throw
taught
ups?
throw-ups was for toys, bro. Okay? Listen, now hear me now. Hear me. I'm not saying they were. I'm telling you what I was taught, right? I'm telling you what I was taught. Throw-ups was really disregarded when I was writing, right? And a lot of times they posed a lot of, issues because, you come in the yard and, sometimes you got a favorite spot or, where it's not blocked by a column or, so in other words, the car you want to hit with a nice burner is limited, right? And then you got this nice sweet spot, right? Problem is, got a bunch of throw-ups on it, right? So now you go over this car with the throw-ups, and now the throw-up guy's mad. It's like, yo, why you went over my throw-up? But let me tell you what I was taught. Even though, I'm going to tell you right now, FaZe disagrees, right? FaZe, the rest in peace, he disagreed. And that's okay. We can have disagreements. But what I was taught was you got tags. A tag is trumped by a throw-up, right? You got throw-ups. A throw-up is trumped by a burner, right? You got burners. A burner is trumped by a top-to-bottom whole car, right? So basically, that was kind of like the hierarchy of the work. But in all respect to FaZe, what his philosophy was, doesn't matter if you did a tag or a throw-up, each person still achieved and had the same risk of injury, danger, and capture. So to that regard, I do understand and respect. However, the reality of it is, oh, yo, shout out to Easy, another street bombing king. But yeah, straight up, and rest in peace, Josh. But the reality of it was, sometimes you had to go over, and this is why the backgrounds and the clouds became prevalent, right? And it was the unwritten rule. Listen, if you have to go over somebody, make sure you don't leave their piece sticking out. Okay? Make sure you don't leave their piece sticking out. Now I'm gonna tell you another thing. See, as the years go by, the tales, they get taller and taller, the stories. So now you start to hear guys saying, oh, well, yo, I used to keep a book and write down the numbers of the train, and I did the peeps on so I could know if anybody went over my car. Maybe that's true. I don't know. I didn't do it. It never crossed my mind, you know what I'm saying? Because at the time, I wasn't worried about getting going over. You see what I'm saying? So we wasn't thinking about that. But people did get going over, of course, and it did present some problems. And if you leave a person's joint sticking out, it was a sign of disrespect.
Please,
It's the same way now.
Des, rest in peace. Oh, Des, rest in peace. It's like our first car, like together, and we did it in the 3 yards. Our first car together. So we put together like a spade, SKEME, and tea bag.
Oh,
and it was nice. Oh man. Yeah, whoever got it, it thinks, man, hell with y'all, whoever got it though. But it was like the fact we was arguing about putting the plaid cloud in there, just no man, because we, the colors was green and I think green and yellow, and our pieces was like silvers and things. But the car came out. I did the cloud, and the car came out nasty and things. Next day, things we go on. Oh man! The next day we go on the station excited. Dad was excited going on the station. You seen that shit pull up with yellow man scribbles on that shit. I was like, man,
Crossed out.
Oh man, yo.
But check it though, in a way though, I take that as a sign of respect because if you go over my joint and don't leave your name, that's a sign of respect, okay? Because you know better, okay? You know better, right? So now if you go over And yo, one time somebody went over one of my pieces and wrote somebody else's name on it because I asked the dude his name, and they was like, "Nah, he didn't do that." And you know, so just crazy stuff. Like, man, but my point is, if you're gonna go over somebody, then leave your name. If you feel that strongly about it, and I'm gonna tell you this, I've gone over 2 pieces in my little stint. Right, I went over 2 pieces. Right, and do you know that I feel so guilty and basically chicken shit because. To me, it was chicken shit. Like, it's not about the art. Like, if you got an issue with the person, don't go over the art. See the person and deal with the person. You know what I'm saying? And so, yo, I did those 2. I did it once, and then I did it again, and then I just felt like almost sick to my stomach. I felt like a sucker doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because it just, to me, it's whack. Yo, deal with the person and let the art run.
I had to deal with it.
That's some real graph shit right there, son.
Okay, no, I had to deal with it.
And don't ask me who's the 2 people I went over.
Let's not even. Please, let's not.
Yo, so now, boom, you start bombing. What was your first tag scheme before scheme? What was your first when you just started?
Already laughing. That means you know.
Nah,
the first name I was writing, well, actually, it was one before the one I'm gonna tell you. I forgot about it until I was opening this old sketchbook, and the first name I wrote was Spivey, Spivey, right? And then Spivey. I mean, you can't get no more toy than that, cat. Right?
A nerd name.
And then after that, I wrote Cheerios. Man, don't ask me.
Cheerios?
Man. Don't ask me what possessed me to write Cheerios, man. Right? So that's when Mr. Mean seen me writing. That's why I told you when he told me, called me a toy, and he seen me writing Cheerios. He said, "Yo, that's you're a toy, man." I was like, "What's a toy?" He was like, "A scrub." And I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yo, you gotta get a new name." You know what I'm saying? And then so, you know, the next time I seen him, I'm writing all these names, and I can't think of a name. And then one day he came to my house, and he was like, "Yo, man, yo, you always scheming on, you know, whatever, because we used to be money racking and doing this, that, and the third." He's like, "Yo, you always scheming." And I was like, scheming. And then so I started writing scheme, but it was SCHEME. And there's another dude out there saying he had it first. Don't believe him, okay? But man, you're like 5 years younger than me. There's absolutely no way you was writing scheme before me, okay? But anyway, you know, so I was writing scheme, SCHEME. And so when Mr. Mean came back over, he was like, "Yo, I was like, "Yo, I got a name. He was like, "What is it?" And I was like, "Scheme." And so he said, "Let me see you write it." So I wrote it, and it was hurt the way I wrote it. And then he was like, "Yo, that's too many letters." He was like, "Yo, you got to shorten it." So I was like, "How can I shorten it? It's good, right?" So I just took the CH sound, busted to the K, and that's how the scheme tag was born.
He made it Ebonics.
Yeah, Ebonics,
man. That's a fire tag, though.
Yo, talk to talk to Kade about and Chain as well about the early days of TMT and its establishment, 1977. And before we go any farther on that, I want to give props to not only Kade but also his brother T, who was the founding members of the TMT crew, which was initially the Magnificent Two, before it became the Magnificent Team. And I just want to now see, the reason I'm saying this because he ain't gonna brag on himself, so I'm gonna do it for him. Okay, you got to understand what it takes, the leadership it takes of 2 young black kids, right? I don't want to use the term boy. Okay, 2 young men, right? But even before the young men time, I'm talking about 2 young black kids, right? The leadership it took to organize an organization such as this writing crew and maintain the respect of some thorough people out here in the streets. Listen, that's nothing to be understated, but I'm gonna leave it to him to tell you the rest.
So how did the whole TMT thing come about?
Well, first, it was, as Scheme was saying, it was me and my brother. We were first writing for MTA, which is Chino Malo's crew and Reed's crew. And like I said, we started out on the buses, and eventually I wanted to kind of start my own crew. And I formed the group TMT, you know, the Magnificent Two, which was me and my brother Team 5, because it was just, you know, pretty much us. And we was like, you know, a team.
And what year? What year?
Yeah, it was 77 that we came out with when TMT went from the Magnificent Two to the Magnificent Team. So it was like 1977.
Yeah, what happened was, let's get it out.
I know
Chino
Chain is
Malo,
gonna stay already.
Chino Malo and I guess they were all right, but it's like they were like in school and all that, and they were just, not out as much as, the rest of the MTA guys, and the rest of the MTA guys like Teen and them was holding it down and whatever. So one day I was looking, I had a court case, and one day I was looking between East Tremont and 174th Street. They have an overpass there where the train goes. So I was looking up at the train, and these guys came up on me. These kids came up on me and then asked me what I wrote. And it always like the bigger writers were like, well, what you write? And one said KADE, and one said CC, one said Image, one said Rex, and one said Vine. And, I told him I was CHAIN3, and then KADE said, yo, you still writing and whatnot? I said, no, I'm not writing. I have a court case, so I don't, I can't be out there racking and doing all wild stuff. And then they gave the offer that I couldn't refuse. It's like, well, you don't have to rack. We'll get you the thing. I was like, what? And thus,
Chain can't rap.
Yeah, right.
Right. Yeah, racking wasn't a problem for us.
It wasn't no problem. It's just that I had a court case that was spanning over time, and I couldn't get out of it. I couldn't really get in trouble and things, and I had to hear it from my lawyer so many times. You can't get into this. You can't get into that. So it's like, when you're a writer, sometimes it gets to you in your blood. If you're a true writer and whatnot, and seeing everybody, do their thing and you can't, it's like, it gets to you. So one day you just happen to just look up and let me see what these guys are doing these days. And they gave me an offer I couldn't refuse. And with our first 3 cars, and I didn't know they had a little more than what I expected and things, enemies and all of that. So I was like, dang, man, what y'all dragged me into and whatnot. But we emerged with the styles we had, and we created what we call the T.M.T style, which made careers out of many. It's just a plain style with a bunch of dots and putting force fields around it, and a couple of bricks and the things that we call drop clips, which in Style Wars that seemed changed it to what is it?
Bits and
doodads. I'm like, no. They were called drop clips. They were. The funny thing was they were designed for cooler bikes. It's like I seen something that Cool liked a lot, and I said, "Dang, man, I know I bike from him. I know I bike from him and things, man. And I know he bites from me, but I had to get something to prove it. That's how it is in style and things, and competition and whatnot. Because if you want to be an actor, if you're into, it's 2 feet. Either you're gonna do throw ups or you're gonna do style. If it's style, you're gonna, and you want to get to the big stylist, it's gonna be competition, because they're gonna say, oh, this school is better than yours. And somebody that's always passing through the city and think through Brooklyn to Manhattan to the Bronx, somebody's out there saying, yo, this crew out there and so, and then you're like, yo, pumping you up, or hey, we'll take them on and whatnot and things. It's funny that the Death Squad was so nasty individual, we broke up and things and had to burn ourselves because, you broke up into maybe 4 or 5 different crews. So, this is the way graph flows. When they don't understand that it's 2 things. You can either do throw-ups, and you can do feats on bridges and stuff like that, but, you won't put your name where, nobody ever put it before, or risk Jeff and things and define stuff, or you can get into nice art and style. And just and hang out and things, but, and really I say it lightly and things, but then style and burning, it goes hand in hand, because you're going to meet somebody, oh, you know, it's going to be a critic or whatever. I can do better at things. And that's what keeps it going in things, man. And, you know, the changing of style and the changing of different letters and arts and things, is, you know, it's always going to stick, you know, it keeps us together. And it keeps the young guys and things alive and things, man. You keep us alive, you know, by keeping this thing of ours going.
Yeah, and I was going to say in the beginning when you asked that question about how TMT formed, me and Teen, we was kind of like destroying the 2s and 5s on the insides, and a lot of people was saying like, who are these TMT guys? And they were saying KADE, Teen would take the headliners, it'll say read Teen, and he'll put like 4 E's and 4 A's and then the N. So it's saying Teen across the whole headliner. And then I got the KADE 198 tags with the TMT, and I took over where Stay High used to write Voice of the Ghetto. I started writing The World is a Ghetto in that particular same spot that Stay High was doing. You know, and then, you know, a lot of people just was wondering, like, who are these guys, TMT? So then everybody wanted to join TMT, and we was getting more members. And like I said, originally it was just me and my brother, what was the Magnificent Two. And then Vine was like, yo, I'm not writing TMT. That stands for the Magnificent Two. So we had to end up changing it to the Magnificent Team. So everybody, you know, be under one umbrella.
Yeah, that was the old man saying.
Yo, let me say this about TMT. TMT crew is the last. This is me now. The TMT crew is the last premier writing crew, and the reason I say that is because even though, let's say, for example, CIA under Dondi's leadership comes after TMT, the reason CIA does not stand up to TMT legacy is because, for the same reason that Dondi was bestowed with the title of Style Master General. Well, what does that mean? That means that he was basically responsible for providing the outlines for everybody in the crew. You understand? He was the style guy, and you can easily tell the difference in a piece when Dondi wasn't there. You can easily look at the photos and see the quality in the piece in the lettering when Dondi was not on the card, right? So this is the difference. See, the difference in TMT is that TMT was comprised of only masters, right? Of only masters that could do their own pieces. See, that's the difference. You had TMT attracted only the best, right? We attracted only the best. And this is why TMT stands out as the last premier writing crew. And the other thing you got to understand is, prior to TMT's inception, you had the other crews that was on the horizon, and they look like he said, like, who is these guys? But he didn't say who. You talking about the Fantastic Partners. You talking about INDs. You talking about the Death Squad, right? So these already established crews, see, in their mind, like they the last, they the seal of the prophets, right? So then out of nowhere, you had these young kids coming out. They're like, who is this? Right? Who is this? Right? And then little by little, they start attracting more people. And here's another thing. There's so many people that people do not know was TMT members. Okay? There's people, for example, Fuzz One, Repel, Kato, Maurice 167. The list goes on and on. These is all people in their own right. See, it's like the U.S. what they call that, the U.S. Marshals or the Texas Rangers, right? One Ranger, one ride, right? Each person in TMT by itself could get on the car and burn 3 other people. It's not like CIA where one person was responsible for dispensing the style. Okay, that's one of the main differences with the Magnificent Team, right?
No, we had our own style. You know, that's what people don't understand. We made it easy for a lot of guys and things, man. Come on, Band 2 was like tagging. All of a sudden you see these deli top to bottoms. I'm like, oh man, you gotta be kidding me and think, but he learned from TMT style and things, man. They were easy, floated and whatnot and things, man. Nice lettering and things, man. But they had the color styles of the TMT. You had what, RTW, that Crash and Bell, all of these guys fighting the T-bag with the gun and whatnot and things, man. Donnie came uptown to learn this style. Knock came uptown to learn this style and things, man. Knock 167. What happened next day? He brings stand. This is what guys don't know, okay? It wasn't like with the Dondi thing, but they didn't tell you the rest of the story. How when they came to my door and things, man, I had to close my door. It's not a thing of on purpose. You seen enough. I'm like, hey, you showed them all your shit. It's like, I was like, no, you learned too much, and because writers, especially when they be in style, they see one thing in the first time and thinks, man, it's in the brain. Okay, especially if it's bad, you're gonna remember it from the first time you've seen it. Okay, so you can't let everybody see all the secrets and whatnot. So he went to KADE out. He got at least a good amount of information. That's why you seen it on the top, the bottoms, and you see like what T.M.T moves or whatnot, because they were coming up and things.
Yeah, the designs.
The designs and whatnot. I'm not gonna shed like all this tobacco on tobacco ashes on them, because they had their own thing, but we had our own stuff, and we just letting you know that, hey, a lot of people ate off of that style.
Right. The other thing is you gotta understand, so-called biting is a sign of respect, right? And amongst the circle of masters, see, here's the difference, right? Biting is when you only take, but you never give, right? So within the circle of masters, right, these masters is not only are you being influenced by other people, but you're creating other things that people are influenced by, right? See, that's the difference. Biting is when you only take, but you do not give, right? So within the circle of masters, they all seen the little things, like, oh, okay, I see that, and then they may innovate on it and increase it, and then invent their own thing, and then the next master will see the thing that person did and say, yo, what, I could do that better, whatever the case may be. So my point is, within the circle of masters, we didn't consider it biting, so to speak, not with, like just a straight out biter. And the thing about biting is if you copy something, but you don't improve on it or make it evolve, right, that's what makes you a toy. Okay, right? That's what makes you a toy.
In the same realm.
That makes you a toy.
Right. You're not evolving. You're not evolving or anything. Keeping the style stagnant by biting.
Right.
You can't improve upon it.
I mean, biting is good, when you first start and whatever, because you're getting a feel, of that writer or whatever. But you're gonna have a Sec 170 come to you, yo, man, your shit look like Butch. Or somebody, you're going to have that person that's in the style or whatever that's going to tell you what your shit look like or whatever. But it's up to you and things, man, because, hey, I'll tell you the truth. Case 2, Knox 167 and Cool 131 kept me up many nights, okay? This is the kind of stuff I had to deal with, man. It wasn't you're not coming out and things, man. You can't come out half-assed with something like that, because, hey, they're going to tell you, okay? They, like biting, everybody bites, okay? But it's he who thinks of the new thingamabob, the new, thing to put in your piece and whatnot, and about 4 or 5 guys do it, you're the man, okay? It's about your doing the change. Okay, because everybody's going to do the norm throw-ups or whatever things, or feet, but everybody's going to try that feat. Like when we went out to Oakland and we found out guys were doing stuff like so airplanes can see. Okay, but it's it's he who thinks of the new thing or whatever, and style is who thinks of the new design, the new cracks, the new drop clips, they're gonna, because one guy in Create from LA, he was asking me about the drop clip. Okay, so,
yo, peace, Sona.
Yeah, all right. But he was asking me, about the soda caps that, he said, man, you have isms with it? Because he think it was just right. I said, no, guys call things different, objects or whatever it thinks, man. Because you can go to the bench and brag, yeah, man, I got the new drop clips or whatever it is, and they can see new stuff that you got. You could brag about that stuff. Like, oh, sweat. man. Oh, I got the dinosaur back end and things, man. All right, you know, and one guy gonna throw back, you know, stuff at you, you know. So that's how graph goes.
All right, come on, man. Give us a hard question, man.
Do you got no, do you got like pictures of everything, like everything you did back then? You flicked it to have it in albums?
Oh boy, I tell you.
No. You, you. What? With me, I had the hard one because you know DJing and whatnot. Mine's got stolen in the car, in my car trunk. But I was lucky that you know, like guys like Boots, well, 119,
KADE.
KADE, and you know, like a couple of writers out there were you know able to salvage you know some of the pictures and things, man. And I had even part TDS, you know, had, you know, helped me out, you know, getting back some of them, you know, like memories. Because I didn't know how valuable they were until I lost them. I was like, oh, no, you know, it's like, it's like Sugar Ray Robinson, all of them, they were talking about, you know, his fights that they couldn't film. It was like that, you know, so those some of the lost pieces and whatnot that we had, but I was just lucky to still, you know, guys were still able to salvage theirs.
I'll tell you, I've got about 90, I got about 90 pictures of my piece, about 90 pieces, okay? And out of 90 pieces, I'm probably missing another 30 to 40 pieces that I didn't catch. So I got a good amount. And some of those, of course, are Henry Chalfant captures, Martha Cooper captures as well. Some Martha Cooper captures, but then some is our own photos. So we do have some. But the problem, like even like with KADE, like a lot of our old photos, and yes, I know, scandal, but nonetheless, the original photo is fading, right? Those photos are fading, right? So man, for you cats out there that got photos, make sure you get them scanned in now before they disappear, because even sitting in a dark room in a box, one day I opened up my photo album, and man, them joints are faded, right? And I thought it would take like the light, but it's just the chemicals over time. I guess the chemical evaporates or whatever, breaks down, and man, but I am blessed to have a decent amount of photos where I could back up at least half of the lies that I'm telling.
Yo, do you have a favorite piece that you did, or a favorite spot, or what's your favorite shit that you rocked ever?
We was just talking about that last night.
Yeah, just last night I asked KADE what his favorite piece was, and I think we agreed on the same piece.
Yeah.
On his piece.
On Too Much piece that did on Broadway. Yeah, it was pretty dope.
Huh? No, I ain't saying it right now.
I ain't got no particular favorite. I mean, my favorites are the ones I couldn't get. Like one night, Corrado 135, we sitting in his living room, and you know we watching a little TV after you know a day of action, chilling and all of that stuff, and he just says to me, yo, I got 4 cans and things, man. Let's go to 3 yard. So I said, all right. So he had a Chinese red, that Red Devil paint, and then he had a Spanish brown and mahogany. And we found like a old clean train. It was like old clean train in the 3 yards. And we did a Casey LaRock and 5. And I'm gonna tell you, man, these guys, I'm telling you, these guys and things, man, with these names and things. Why couldn't we do Corrado 135? Why we get these ideas when we go to the layup and things? I don't know, guys and things. There's an EC3 with that and things. You want to like weed and things. I said, yo, man, what kind of time we wanted to do the diamond points and things? Oh, that's another thing. We were the masters of the diamond point letters and things. So that was like the first time we was doing them. He did KADE did a bubble bouquet, and I did the T-Bag 170th, and Team did a TEE, a team. I think it was like Team 5. That's what he did. 19.5. And then the kid comes when he could do the EC3, he goes, now I want to do a week. I'm like, yo, these guys, man, when you come here, look, guys, man, let's
Worthy, man. Worthy.
Oh, no, there's another one. Here's the time to meet Mo too. He's in the book, great artist and whatnot. We go all the way out to California to meet him, nice gentleman and whatever and things. And what does he do? He writes between me and SKEME. He writes Worthy. I said, look, I didn't come all of these miles to peace with Worthy, man. I came to peace with Mo too. What the hell happened? I'm not worthy. It's just like I'm not worthy, yo. Guys, you man.
Yo, but check this out, right? It's a good thing he did, right? Because when I was painting that joint, they passed me some of that Cali weed, right? Yo, listen, man. I never had that Cali weed, man. Listen, man.
It was different.
That joint looked like I painted it with my feet, man. Right? But I'm gonna tell you my favorite piece for a reason. And my favorite piece might be what I consider to be my most accomplished piece. And it's not my last piece like Chain wanted it to be. But it is the SKEME and T bag, because you gotta understand, it is the scheme from the SKEME and T bag, because you gotta understand, like he's saying, you don't understand the pressure, right? When you're painting with certain names, right? Like you cannot get next to a CHAIN3 piece. You cannot get next to a KADE piece. You cannot get next to Phase 2. You cannot get next to Cool 131 and paint garbage, okay? You got one shot, okay? You're getting called up for the minors. They call you up for the minors. They call your name. You put your hand up, right? And then you run up, and you can either come up or you can either nut up, okay? And if you nut up, you're gonna listen, man. You're gonna hear about it for the next 8 months, until you redeem yourself. But that's right. You do not want to go to the bench, right? But when that SKEME and T bag rolled across the bench, man, they had them coming out their seats like Mexican jumping beans, man.
Yeah, who started the bench? Who started the bench?
Oh, Chain will know that. He was there when it first started.
Oh my God, man. I mean, you gotta understand, when I was coming up there, like I said, I was the second generation. So, when I was coming up there, you had big 149 tags on the top rail, on the top bridge, when that spans across to the elevators. They don't use them anymore.
That whole thing
is gone. But they had a bridge that goes across, and it was like the Hall of Fame, because you seen Tracy, Checker, Peanut, all the tags that went across, and things that every rider that rode up on there got up, and all of them was in white. I was like, dang, man. It's like, you wonder when did they go up there and hit that, but those were the guys. Chi, Checker, Sonny 107. If you're hanging at the bench in that time and things, those were the names you looked up and seen and things, because everybody wanted to hang around Tracy 168, and guys wanted to hang around like FDT 56, guys like that. Or Cliff. Stan had his thing, Stan 153, guys wanted to hang around him. And then, like So 5, B3, and KADE, they was together, guys had their little crew or anybody they hung with or whatever it is. But when we all got together and things, oh man, it was like a big party going on almost every day at 149th Street. Because, you always used to see the girls come from Norman Thomas or Mabel D. Bacon or whatever it is, just to come down, because a whole bunch of guys is at the bench and whatever. Guys attract girls and whatever. And they come from like Roosevelt or from any school just to come down to the bench. They think the bench was just nothing and things, man. Oh, a bunch of guys hanging out, please. You'd be surprised who would come there and things, just to hang out, because there's guys that be bummy there, but then, there's guys.
Yo, the bench was the place to be, man. If you never made it to the bench, you wasn't a real writer, man.
It was
that's all it is to it. The bench was the place to be.
Mini Yankee Stadium.
And I'm not talking about now, the aftermath. I'm talking about during the days when the bench was in play. The bench was where writers met, right? And if you hear somebody say, "Oh, I ain't go to the bench," because yo, listen, then you wasn't a writer. Okay,
Exactly.
the bench was the place to be. Writers came to mingle with other writers, settle issues. You might get a pat on the back or a punch in the lip. You know what I'm saying? but you dealt with it though. You got up every day. Yo, I used to go to the bench every day. I'm talking about every day, bro. Yo, by the time I had dropped out of school, yo, that was my place of duty, man. We was going to the bench every day. And you never knew what was going to go down. And like Chain is saying, we met there. Look, back in them days, we didn't have no cell phones, right? So if I say, yo, K, man, meet me at the bench at 9 o'clock, right? Yo, your word had to be bond. You understand? Because there was no cell phone for me to get there and be like, yo, K, where you at? Yo, K, where you at? Yo, K, where you at? You can't call him. So when I tell Kate or he tell me, yo, or Chain, whatever, yo, boom, well, yo, we're gonna be at the bench. Yo, you was at the bench at that time waiting, man. You was not late. Yo, nowadays cats be 2, 3, 4 hours late. Yo, I'm like, I don't even understand that. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't do those things back in the days because we was on a schedule. We was going racking, boom. You had to get moving. Had so many stores you had to get to. You want to be done. Some cats had to be home, before their moms got home. Because some people was faking.
You were getting layup time.
Yeah.
You had a certain time in the morning, and you had certain stores, and you had certain times. So you go, you get rack what you can to get to that layup, and that layup, especially Baychester, is going to pull out. Like maybe like 2:30 or something like that. I was laughing at AJ 161 about that. I said, I remember you did that Adam's apple on there. Things like one of my first. I told him my first piece was there. He was doing an Adam's apple. He said, "Get out of here." I said, "Yeah, I remember that joint because one of the trains pulled out and you had to take a piece of wood to prop it up and things to spray the top of your piece and things, man." He said, "You remember that?" And he said, I said, "I remember you was mad at that shit." He said, "Damn, man," because the train was pulling out and things. He was like, "Damn, man." He had the apple, but the apple had a bite in it. He said, "Damn, I'm going to put a serious worm in that shit." I was like, "Damn." He said, "You don't remember that shit?" Like, but, that's what went on in things, man. We had good plays. Graph was like it was an adventure, especially when you had certain times to do stuff. We were like conductors and things, man. Know which time the train pulls in and pull out and things, man. You scouted different times. The fun thing is when you meet new writers and they take you to different places. That's the best time to think, because hey, guys, if the guy got caught or whatever, I'd be like, well, who'd you stick near? I'm like, yo, if you ain't sticking to the one that knows the layup, man, you must be out your mind and things, man. If you got caught in there, unless they actually raided you and things, man, hey, but you can have a pull in, pull out, and you sitting up there painting, and then all of a sudden you got one train coming one way and it's slow, and another train coming another way slow, and they stop in the middle and things. You're like, yo, man, let's go under the train. That's everything, because that's a raid, and everybody's gonna jump out at these guys. Think that shit don't happen, but that happened to us. Like one train pulling slow and another lane, but the trains would park. But the dangerous thing is you going under the train and things, man. Under third, hopping over third rails and stuff and things to get to the yard and things, man, and smashing down on the crates and stuff and whatever and leaves and stuff and things, man. Hoping no guard dogs is there and things, man. That's the shit you had to go through. But afterwards, the things you laughing, yo, that was fun, wasn't it?
Train cars. I remember doing that plenty of times on the layup. We used to go under the train because we'll see the train maybe 2 stops coming up to 225th Street and White Plains Road. You'll see the train maybe 2, 3 stops before it comes up to you. And if we're piecing on the outside layup, I'm like, okay, let's get under the train and into the the uptown train to pass or whatever side we were on. So we would wait for that train to pass, then come back out from underneath the train and finish our pieces.
Now, let me tell you, I never went under a train. I had a phobia of getting smushed like a bug, so I never went under a train, not even once. Anytime I had to hide, I would just crawl up in between cars and stand like in the little in the little doorway. But I never climbed under the train. I would go over the top on the roof of the train before I went under. Never.
Yeah, I've been under the train a few times.
When that few times. The time when that raid happened, man, that was no choice. Because the train was just staying there and everything. But if it's like, it's like, dang, man, you're not thinking this is a live thing that just go off. You just run it,
And most times, like with the layups, you'll have trains running maybe sometimes it'll be 3 or 4 stations long of a layup train in the middle track. And most times they're not pulling out that many trains.
I'm getting chills, man.
they're not going to pull out that many trains at the same time. The most they'll pull out is 10 cars at a time normally. But hey, you never know. We wasn't thinking like that. But typically they're going to pull out 10 cars at a time. But with the layup, they're running from three to 4 train stations. So that's way more than 10 cars. That's probably about 100 cars. So chances are they're not going to pull that layup out. So maybe that was the reason I felt a little comfortable going under the train. But still, risky business, definitely.
Risky. How about falling on leaves and things? Remember we was in Esplanade and things, man, and we were doing the 2 whole cars and things, and I flipped, and then we fell in a whole bunch of bird shit.
Yeah.
It was like a bed of bird shit. Like, oh my God.
That's a guano.
The other thing, I thought it was, man, I thought I was gone. The thing when I was falling, I was like, and then all of a sudden you hear, I was like, dang, man, they didn't clean this shit for years and things.
Yeah,
man.
that was Esplanade.
Oh, man, that was funny.
Because we had half of the layups was in the tunnel and half is out. So I guess birds would go under the underpass and just be shitting all over the place.
When did the like the Star Wars thing come into play? Like, how did that whole thing happen in the Star Wars?
Okay, the original Star Wars. Okay, all right. You got to go back to the burning era. Okay, when Phase, Tracy, King 2, Vic 149, these guys, Pell, all these guys, and Riff 170, that was a thing, and that was the burning era. Okay, where if you if somebody did something better than you or whatever, you got burnt. Okay, so that faded down to our era and things in the second generation, where it's a whole bunch of competition was and things, and everybody was talking, if they talk good or bad or whatever and things, man, and they talked about style, whether you were the best one or you was the worst one. If you got the worst one, you got it. So when it trickled down to our era, it was like a bunch of competition. It was more competition than ever because we were after Butch and Case, and they were dying down. Okay, then you had the Death Squad, and they were like in the middle of doing their thing, and T.M.T was just, doing their thing, and then you had the other guys up and come in with the RCA and Doddy and the TC5 guys, and they were mixed with about 4 or 5 different crews or whatever, and mixed into one. Okay, so the main guys, if you wanted to go around and get have the best pieces from at that time, was me, Cool, Knock, and K. Okay, so TDS, Part and Cool, they was holding up TDS. Okay, we were coming up and things with K Team, me, and Knock with the T.M.T crew. I know Knock had Don D, maybe Slade, or I know he had a crew. RCA, was up there with them, and Case had Fade and Scene and these guys. So that was the real style war, because Knock, he was the one that came up with that, because he used to hang with Stan, and we used to always talking garbage in his apartment or whatever, and listening to Kiss music and stuff. So that's another story. But we used to always talk. But it was all competition before all of this, you know, the books and all of that. Star Wars was me, Cool Knock, and Case, because then when, you know, it was on, I think after it really happened when my neighbors was arguing. You know, one of my neighbors was arguing with his cousin, and he was like big up, and who was big up in, you know, each other. So he's like, well, you know, like if he was go, yo, I know Scheme, you know, well, I know Chain, you know Chain. Well, he said, yeah, Chain live in my building and things. Man.
Yo, man, don't try to put me in that, man. Like, I wasn't in that. No, don't use me. Oh, you know Scheme. All right, no big deal. But you know Chain. Oh,
but I'm just saying, for example,
no, you somebody else.
But that, no, but you know, if you would say I knew Peso or whatever, well, I know Chain. Well, Chain live in my building. You know, like big up in each other. You know, so it's like, all right, well, if Chain if Chain live in your building and things, man, tell Chain I got some paint and things, man. Let's go to the 3 yard. So I said, okay. I said, let's go to the 3 yard. And, you know, I met a couple of other writers and things, man, from Broadway at the 3 yard. And then all of a sudden, Cool comes walking in the 3 yard. So I know you were writing and thing because we had the Def Squad together. Yeah, I know you were still writing. I said, yeah, you still writing and things. And then I somehow, in some way and things, man, T.M.T bridged over to Broadway and things, man. And then it just started and things, man. Cool and them was partners, doing their thing. Roasting them. They was roasting up Broadway, okay? We came over there and things, and we started roasting up Broadway and things. And then it just, that's how it came. And then it came back to the tubes and whatnot. And somehow, I guess, Kel and all of them thought they was in it and things, you know. So they want to come out with their shit, you know. And then Dondi coming out with his shit. So that's how Star Wars started, you know, with all the talking and all of the rivalries and all of that, you know. But it was mainly me, Cool, Knock, and Kings. Any other behind that is just, you know, they were just putting in other kind of stories. But that's how it, you know, started because Butch and Case had the best, you know, doing the Butch and Case and Lee, they were battling before us. Then after them, we were battling like TDS. You know, TDS had broke up, and then, you know, like they had that, but they kept the name, okay? When we made T.M.T, then we started battling. It's like battling ourselves, but we had some knockdown, drag-out battles. You know, they went, though, like, I was like, oh, look what they did. Oh, they doing this. Well, let's do this, you know? So we had to do, when we did things, we were staring at our pieces and things, listening to Jamaican music and things on 225th Street and chilling and hanging out and things. After we doing our pieces, it's hard to go home because some pieces was coming out. So wait till they see that. No, wait till they come to the bench and see that. And I'm pretty sure they was like that to us, but that's how piecing was, I think, man. And you wanted to get those guys at the concourse. Oh, man. Yo, why didn't you take me, man? Yeah.
Yo, one of the best parts, too, right, when you talk about the bench, is, yo, we all have multiple, y'all. I wrote 10 different names, right? I wrote 10 different names, right? Most people don't even know the 10 names I wrote, right? And so the thing was, you write these names and you sitting at the bench, and you sitting there, they may know you Scheme, right? But if this piece roll by or that, and they like, oh, yo, look at that. But they don't even know you did it. And you just like, yeah, you laughing to yourself, you know what I'm saying? And they like, yo, who was that? Who was that? But you just laughing, you keep it to yourself, you know what I'm saying? And so we wrote different names for different reasons, you know, the flex with different letters or whatever. But then also when we was in the go-over wars, you know, cats was going over shit, start doing different names, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're in disguise, incognito, you know what I'm saying? And but yeah, man, we, you know, that was one of the things about the bench, man. It was just the bench was, like I said, man, that was the place to be. Like, yo, if you didn't congregate at the bench, socialize and all that, then you was in the scene, but you really wasn't the scene. You know, we was the scene, man. And for me as a young writer coming in and seeing dudes like, yo, like Case too, man. Like when I met Case, man, he was like a god. You know what I'm saying? He was a god because not only because of his style and his physicality, man. You know, just the type of person that he was, man. He was just a you know, just an all around cool and super intelligent being. You know, as everybody knows that, you know, at this point. But I mean, just a very in-depth person with a lot of layers, man. He's a very complicated person. These are not simple people. And this is the thing about writers, like as outside lay people, they thought it was just a bunch of dumb kids up to no good, you know, just spraying paint. But it's so much more to that. It's so much more to that. It's the politics, man. It's the laws, the rules, the regulations, and the way to do things, man, and the hierarchy and all the things that go along with it, man. It's his own little government. You know what I'm saying? It's his own little nation within a nation, right? And it wasn't simple, man. And we wasn't dumb ghetto kids. You know what I'm saying? We was super intelligent, man. Let me tell you, it took intelligence to do these things, right? And to do them well, and to do them often, and to do them and maintain respect. And what I call ride the rails with class. See, a lot of people wrote, but a lot of people didn't do it with class. You know, they was always involved in some foolishness, or, you know, just doing things, man, just to you know, mess up the program. You know what I mean? But I was fortunate enough, man, to get down, man. You don't know what it means, man, to peace with KADE and Team, to peace with CHAIN3, to peace with Phase 2, to peace with Cool 131. Listen, man, I got blessed. I can't explain it. And so then later on, you know, after the period that he's talking about, there's kind of a lull, right? And one thing that we touched on is that when you join a crew, you inherit that beef. Okay, when you join a crew, yo, you could have been the coolest guy. But the minute you get down, like, yo, his beat, yo, it becomes your beat, right? And that's just the way it is. So, you know, when I got down with T.M.T and then T.M.T, you know, like, yo, they beef became my beef, right? And I didn't even know the people that they was beefing with, but yo, you know, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And you become part of that. And then as each generation, see, when me and Dez came along, we was I would say we was third generation T.M.T, right? And so when we came along, you know, we had to do our part. And, you know, hold the fort down. And, you know, maybe it wasn't in the big Vietnam style wars, right? But we was definitely shooting our shots, you know, at the other rival crews at that time. And me and Dez, we basically ruled. We ruled Broadway. We ruled Broadway. There was not a car that went by that didn't say Scheme and Dez, Dez and Scheme and Cool, Scheme and Chain, Scheme and KADE, Dez and LK, Dez and Park. Yo, listen, man. And, you know, listen, your reputation is everything, because, look, KADE and them had quit. But when Cool and Chain and them seen me and Dez on the line, they said, okay, right? But it's more to it than just the paint. You have to have a good reputation, right? Because you can't get a CHAIN3 or KADE to come out of retirement and go back to the yard with you if you don't have your shit together. You understand? You got to be professional, right? Because they saying, yo, the yard is chill. Yeah, the yard is chill. I know how to do it. I know the time, this, that, and third. And they're trusting you, right? They're trusting you because, see, once you step out of it, kind of your instincts go down a little bit, right? You lose the timing because you ain't been in there in a while. You don't know the sights and smells. It takes you a minute, right? But if somebody bring you back, you really trust in that person, that person knows what's up. And of course, if I bring them to the yard, yo, they my responsibility, because yo, as soon as they get caught, it's going to be, yo, Scheme took me to the yard, we got busted, you know what I'm saying? And then, oh, by the way, not only did we get busted, but Scheme must be an informant because we got caught, right? So listen, when you go, you cannot get caught, right? At all costs, we would do anything. I would jump from the highest, snap my ankles off, and crawl on my hands and knees to not get caught, right? Only thing I wouldn't do is climb under a train, right? But listen, man, we would do whatever it takes. And we rode the rails with class, and we held our head up, and the magnificent team has stood the test of time, my brother. We have stood the test of time with no scandals. You understand? See, here's the deal. You could go a long time, but we went a long time with no scandals, with no foolishness. You understand? And that is a direct reflection of the leadership and the membership selection. We selected only the best. T.M.T is made up of premier writers.
Yeah, you ain't never lied, for real, son. Yo, so when people hear the shit Star Wars, like one of the most famous things is when you're being interviewed and your mom is there and stuff. That's super legendary. Do you remember
Well,
doing
first
that?
of all, rest in peace to my mother and also Chain's mother, who was passed away. So rest in peace to our moms and also all graffiti moms. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about my mother, you know, like a lot of cats come up to me and they're like, "Yo, I can relate because listen, we all went through the same things." Your mom's is looking at you like, "What is wrong with this dude? Like, yo, who is this person?" Right? Because you almost become another person, right? And for me, it helped me. It also helped me grow up faster and become more of a man quicker because like I'm doing things independently, like I'm thinking on my own, like I'm planning things, right? You know, understand? I have a certain reputation to maintain. So I'm not, Mom, I love you, but I'm not that little kid no more. You know what I'm saying? And so at the point, you know, me and my mother, like we discussed in the movie, we came to a understanding where she knew, like, yo, I wasn't gonna stop, right? And once I felt she understood that, then I could stop lying to her, right? I could stop lying about where I was going. You know, now she knew it was important, and it's better for your relationship to not be lying. You understand? So once my mother knew, and I was straightforward with her, I'm not gonna say she was cool with it, but at least I wasn't sneaking. You know what I'm saying? And so you know, we all had the similar experiences. All right, it's got to be, man. It's the same. It doesn't matter. My mom, your mom.
That's a different era. My mom was more Larry and Pearl. So.
What I'm talking about is your mother looking at you saying like, yo, what is he doing? You know, like your mother worried about you getting, first of all, run over by a train, right? You know, electrocuted, you know, and I never got caught for arrested for graffiti. I got arrested for other foolishness, shoplifting and little crap like that. But I never got busted writing. You know what I'm saying? But my mother, every time she just knew that she was going to get that call, but I never got caught. I never got caught.
So when the movie came out and Mom Duke saw it, well, like, what was the reaction?
Well, I was already gone. I was in the army. I was in stationed in Korea, and somebody, it was either my mother or Henry, one of them two, it was probably my mom's, had sent me the tape because when we filmed it, you know, even though you filmed it, I ain't really think, you know, they was gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really think it was gonna come out. And then when it came out, then when you're filming, you don't know how it's gonna look. You know what I'm saying? And so when I got the film in my mail call, I had, you know, back then, this when VCRs was first coming out, so I had one of the, you know, early VCRs and took the tape in my room and invited, you know, people from the barracks. We went in the room and put the tape on. They was like, yo, that's you. But I was just as shocked as them because I couldn't believe that the movie was actually made, you know, because I was already gone because it came out, I think, in '83 on PBS. And then, you know, the VHS hit the street and I got it, but I was in shock that it actually came out. But of course, man, you know, somebody said to me, oh, yo, you know, I heard you, yo, man, Skeme wouldn't be, known, he wouldn't be known if it wasn't for the film. But that's common sense, bro. Would none of us be known internationally if it wasn't for the film? That's common sense. Now, we was all hood famous, you know what I'm saying? But none of us would have been known all over the world as we are today had it not been for the film. So, of course, it was a monumental thing that happened in my life at the time, and I'm just glad, you know, that everything worked out.
And when y'all saw the entire movie, you was happy, everything, like the way that everything came out with the cap and everything, because that shit was crazy, you know. Cap, that was some legendary shit.
Yeah, but see, I don't want to go into no long detail.
We got Hold on. Let's understand when we talk about Star Wars was a different era. Okay, it's way different in things, man, from what we were doing. Like it was the same thing, but it's a little different of where, you know, our parents and a lot of that stuff was back then. Because we had, remember, that was like the Slap Happy and Mo Larry and Curly parents, okay? Or, you know, like they was respectful and everything and things. But hey, one thing they did, if you did something wrong or whatever, and they find out, even if your neighbors and things, man, that knew you for at least over 5 years or whatever and things, man, it wasn't a good thing. Okay, so that's why I'm saying his era and my era, it was, you know, they were two different things. You know, because a lot of them you know, like Star Wars, like with me, I look at it in a different light. Okay, you know, like I don't talk about it too much, but we look at it in a different light. I just had to put it like, okay, this is a different era, you know, just like even the fourth generation, when you got into computers and all of that stuff and twisted letters and stuff, it's a different era. Parents are different, and they're letting kids do a whole bunch of things that they didn't. Kids are more real.
Yo, bro, listen.
In my time,
that's not, no.
Stand up straight and whatever.
Listen,
you got popped.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. It's not no different era. Let me tell you what it is. It's different parenting styles. Okay, it's not no different era. Okay, my mother was born back in the days, 1930 something. Yo, the same. Yo, listen, my mom's is no different. Right? It's different parenting styles. Yo, by that time. Yo, but when I was 14 years, you gotta understand, when I was 14 years old, I already pledged to a fraternity, right? This fraternity. So my point is, yo, like I was already, I'm not gonna say becoming a man, but yo, like I wasn't a kid, you know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't like a baby, you know what I'm saying? And so, yo, by this time, you talking 15, 16 years old. Yo, my mother wasn't slapping me. Are you kidding? Yo, my mother wasn't slapping me just like now. When my kids were 16, yo, I wouldn't dream of slapping one of my kids or hitting them. Like, listen, man, if you haven't disciplined your children, right, by the time they 3, 4, 5, 8 and all that, yo, it's too late, right? You trying to slap somebody and whoop them at 16 years old? No. It's not working. It's not effective. Not even 15. Yo, I remember the last time my mother whooped me. Let me tell you, the last time my mother whooped me, she whooped me with this. We used to have a hunting dog. And it was a German Shorthair Pointer, so we had a long dog leash, right? And my mother, listen, man, she hit me with that dog leash. This is a leather leash. And let me tell you, it was so long that it like went around my body one time. It slapped on the other arm, right? And it hurt. But you know what? Yo, I showed no emotion or nothing. And my mother just looked at me and we both realized, like, Ma, hitting me is that's not the answer, right? And my mother never attempted to discipline me in that manner. And at that point, see, me and my mother was like best friends. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I respected my mother, but our relationship was more of, and I'm not saying peers, right? I'm not saying I was a peer, but we was more open. You understand what I'm saying? And we talked about it, and my mother knew that I was determined, and she knew I wasn't gonna, what's she gonna do? Whoop me? What you gonna do? Whoop me? So that's not gonna stop. And if you want me, all I did is just not. At this point, some nights I wasn't even coming home.
Well, we had mine was different. She let you you can give it a dog, but so much rope. Because sometimes they give you so much rope, and then you can hang yourself. And she couldn't wait for that day, And like one day, I got caught for shoplifting. So, I had to spend overnight. And, before I even got there and things and wanted to say, look, I said, no, keep it. So it's like, and after that one night, and believe me, after the one night, I learned this is the place I didn't want to be. So, like things changed a little. I had to be more safer in what I did. And, please be a little more knowledgeable in things, man. Because believe me, that's one place I did not want to be.
I've got caught racking up plenty of times, and my mom's had to come and get me from Jersey, from Yonkers, from White Plains, and the ride home was not fun, so to speak. She thought me and my brother was crazy. I think she wanted to take us to a shrink. Like, why are they doing this? Why are they writing on subways and coming home with ink on their sneakers, on their brand new pants? I used to hear all of it, man. But that's what we had to go through, And then eventually, I think she kind of got it. There was one instance where she would take the subway to go to work, the 2s and the 5s. We lived by East Tremont at the time. And me and Teen used to, Teen would write, "Hi, Mom," or something like that. So while she's riding the train, going to work, she knows what our handwriting looked like, and she knows what both of our tag names are. and she's seen a Hi Mom tag on the headliner and KADE and Teen, and she said she's embarrassed, like she think the passengers know. Like even my son's doing all of this graph on the train. So that was the funny thing, that she had seen one of our cars that we had bombed. And that's how much our names was up on the trains. Like if you got on any 2 and 5 train back then, you was seeing a KADE and Teen tag no matter what. Any car you went in, we had that line on lock like that.
So he said before that no one person ever had like all the train lines smashed at one time. That's true. No one dude never had every single train line smashed.
I would say probably the closest person that came to doing that was maybe N. He had a lot of lines, but I still wouldn't say every line. But
The one that tagged on every line, and I know officially, was Cliff. Okay. And to me, I ain't gonna say he was officially Cliff. He was on King of all lines. But if I was gonna say anybody that was, would have been, it had to have been Cliff. It was like basically like A's. He was bomb at A's because him and Iz and oh God, Vinny.
Yeah, Vinny.
They would kill the A.
Tracy had a lot of.
And Tracy
had a lot of lines.
They would kill the 7. Chino and Roger. With Vinny also was killing the 7.
Fuzz.
Fuzz. They live and they come and they find 7s and things, man, in certain places.
Just the bomb, a lot of TI.
And you got guys that are hanging in Manhattan or Brooklyn or whatever, then link up with different crews and shit, And that's the funny thing, because I'm like, how do you live in Manhattan and you all where you with TI? This is something when I got busted. Don't worry, I had to look. I had to look at things when I was, when you're down in Central Booking, in Brooklyn Bridge and things, because that's what they used to take you when you scrubbing it. And guys, let me see who got busted and things. Let me see who's scrubbing the writers.
Right.
And they be coming over, Justin. These guys go, oh, what you write? Nah, he's a toy. Oh, no, you're right. Man, don't be sizing up writers over here.
Yeah, where did they used to take the writers
down in Brooklyn, Brooklyn.
Yo, that was another phenomenon, along with the loss of the bench, that we interacted with. See, that's why it's important to come to the bench. For example, I met one of my partners, and he was from Brooklyn. I met him at the bench, which was TAC 147, right? So, he got himself up. He got on the 2 train, and he took it all the way up to 149th in the Grand Concourse. Why? Because that's the place to be. But my point is, back then, we used to travel. You know what I'm saying? I went to many yards and layups, out of my boroughs, out of my comfort zone, you know what I'm saying? And because it was a matter of trust, I've been taken to the M yard, E&F layups. I've been taken, to many, many places. I was taken to Utica by Magoo too. Man, so many places, but I was taken to the M's by Duro. I was taken to, my goodness, man, I can't even think of all these. I was taken to Baychester by Smiley 149. So that's, another Ebony Dukes connection there, because he was with AJ. But the first time I went to Baychester, I was, rest in peace, Smiling 149. But my point is, you met new people and you formed new, lasting friendships with people that you would have never known, man. And the bench was that central epicenter, man, where everything emanated from, man. And that's what made it great. It was the family. And not only that, bro, we used to sleep at each other's houses, eat up each other's fridges, you know what I'm saying? Moms be coming home, like, where the steaks at? Your eyes all red and shit from smoking weed. Like, what steaks, ma? You know what I'm saying? Knowing the whole crew was just there, smashed the refrigerator. We was like family, you know what I'm saying? So, if anything has changed about writing, it's not the mission, but it is more of the familiar part. And of course, now, here's another thing. The average age of a writer back then was probably like 13, 14, right? The average age, maybe 15, I don't know. right? But now the average age of a writer is like, what you think, like 20-something years old, 30 years old? You catch it like 30 years old. Look at our old ass, man.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
now.
Yeah.
They're pretty much, you know, like.
But I ain't talking about just the artists. I'm talking about like writers in Europe. In Europe, these cats is grown men. And even though they grown men, you have to say that they're taking an additional risk, because this is not like, for a grown man 30 years old, this is not a juvenile offense. You understand? This is a grown man who may have a job and who may have kids and may have other responsibilities. And so some of these cats, you're taking a big risk. You understand? And in some of these countries, they don't. And, you know, I've been to some of these places doing, you know, what we do. And listen, if you get caught, especially if you're an American, they're going to make an example out of you, okay? They're going to make an example out of you, right? Because, oh, you're an American, you come here, you're bombing our shit, you know, it costs you $1 million by the time you're done. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a good lawyer. But the risk is the same, but the family part, the closeness may be lost. And also, I think in New York, we lost, I'm going to say, a generation of writers, because we don't have the next generation of style masters coming behind us. Like, you got to think, when KADE and them was writing, KADE started writing, he was like 13 years old. 13 years old, right? 14, 15, Chain is like 15, 16 years old. And I'm talking about to be a style master at 16 years old. Now you got guys that's 30 years old talking about style master. Man, we was doing that when we were 14. Right? We was laying down letter styles at 14, and now here you are, 20-something, trying to critique my shit. You can't critique my shit, right? You have to go back in time to 78, 79 to critique me. It's too late to critique me. Whatever I do now is icing on the cake. You sit back and put, you know, sip a cup of tea and enjoy what I'm doing. Don't critique what I'm doing. It's too late for that.
Yeah, that's the T.M.T style. You know.
What about when the train era started going on and it started dying down, and then the 90s, late 80s and 90s writers started coming in? It was streets. Did any of you ever bomb streets?
Yeah, of course. I did a couple pieces in the street. I'm sure we all did. But I wouldn't call it what they call today bombing. Like, that wasn't my primary mission. Of course, you know, you walking around town, you may have a can or two, but I wouldn't call it like bombing like they do today. I wouldn't put myself in the category with some of these street bombers today. Like, Easy would slap me in the face if I said I was a street bomber. Okay?
You got more artists today because the can is more a airbrush tool now. So, you know, where you had emphasis on the letters, you know, as we're more with the letters and things. Now they got, you know, the artists, the more emphasis on the characters, you know, but, you know, true writers is going to tell you, no, it's not the characters, you know, it's the letters, you know, and how you're going to evolve it, how you're going to shape up, what kind of style you're going to come up with. You know, characters is just to an average graffiti writer, you know, they're there to enhance the piece or whatever. But it's your piece that's the one that's supposed to be doing
the piece should never get burnt by the characters.
Yeah. You know, nobody should show you, yo, I like the characters.
Right. Now listen, hey, we're gonna let y'all in on a little secret, right? I'm gonna let y'all in on 2 secrets, right? And I hope nobody don't hear that I said to. I'm gonna let y'all on 2 secrets. I'm gonna tell you the kiss of death. If you show me your piece, if you show me a picture of your piece and I say the colors are nice, that means it's garbage, okay? Because Mama always said, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing. So we say, yo, the colors is nice, right? And then another thing, if you show me your piece and I say, oh, yo, that's bananas, right? Yeah. What's the first and last letter of bananas?
B and A.
B and S.
Oh, yes.
Right? I'm telling you, it's bullshit, right? But you know, you don't want to hurt. And here's another thing to that end. People are so thin-skinned today. Like back in our days when you was in the yard, let me tell you, you painting, you got CHAIN3 walking up and down looking at your shit going, I don't know. You know, what's up with that? You know what I'm saying? Yo, you can't be thin-skinned. right? It's, you know, first of all, we joke with each other, but it's in a joking manner, but you're giving a recommendation, or you say, yo, you may want to do it this way, right? But this is how we correct each other and get better, right? And this is what happened when if you a scrub and you paint with other scrubs, you'll never get better because there's nobody there to tell you, yo, that shit is whack. Okay, you can't be a scrub. You can't be the. Now, don't make me say no names now. But you can't be the best scrub out of 5 scrubs, right? Yeah, for real. You have, and you have to be able to take criticism and suggestion. This is how you improve, right? This is how you improve, and this is how we got better. Steel sharpens steel, and we rise. I don't know about them. I think we are the same. We rise to the level of the person that you're painting with. That's what I've noticed. If I'm painting, because like you don't want to. If I'm painting with a lesser guy, like I don't want to burn them off the wall. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of tone it down a little bit, right? But I always look forward to painting with someone who I feel is better than me, because when I'm painting with somebody who's better than me, that makes me perform better, makes me do better. Because like, yo, I don't want to embarrass myself. And let me tell you something. I don't care what nobody tell you. Anytime you're painting with somebody, even if it's your man, and even if y'all don't use the words, you're battling. Okay? It's a battle. It could be your man from your day one, but if you want to call with somebody else, you do not want to be the person that gets burnt. Okay? That's the number one message.
Right. We be cracking on each other.
How was it painting with Dez?
Who you asking? Because we all painted with him.
Right.
Yeah, everybody, like, give me a story with Dez. Rest in peace.
Oh, you already got the scheme, the spade scheme, the scheme.
Oh man, I got 1,000 Dez stories.
Right. I can't think of no real memorable ones as far as
please, he's the one that'll tell you he thinks, man, if your piece is up to T.M.T specification. He told me that one time. I said, no. He said, yo, it looked nice, but it's not up to T.M.T specifications. I'm like, what? This is just right. That's Kade's leg. I tell you.
Well, I tell you, one of the last calls that KADE did was what KADE and Team did was with me and Dez.
Right,
In the 3 y'all, we did an arcade in 1985, which is, you know, play on Team's name. 1982, I'm sorry. I'm thinking Team 5. We did an arcade in 1982, and then a Scheme and Desi, married couples, 2-car married couples. And that's one of my regrets, because we should have all been on the same car. You know what I'm saying? We should have did a 4-man car. But we did 2 married couples. And so that was, again, it goes to what I said. KADE and Team, they trusted me and Dez because they knew we knew what was up in the 3 yard and that everything was going to be copacetic, and we wanted to go get in there with the cars pulling out and the sirens going off and all of that. And they came out of retirement for a minute and rocked that joint. So that's a good story with them. Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually the last piece that I did. Me and Team, that was our last piece that we did in 1982, which was I did an arcade with a C, and Team did the 19 in front of the Team, 19.
Well, it's just a 9.
Oh, right.
It's a 9 and then
Team, and then 82 on the end of it. Yeah, it's pretty dope, though. But that was the last car we did when Scheme and Dez brought us back out of retirement. But, I mean, we was all still hanging and stuff, but that was really like the last piece that we did.
Pretty much was the cool out crew, man.
How did it feel? Did it feel crazy like the first time you did a piece, like when you came back to rock again?
That was kind of shortly after we quit, so I wasn't too out of the loop. I think we had stopped in maybe 79, maybe 80, and then, you know, come back 2 years later. That's not much of a time span in between, so it wasn't too difficult to come back.
So now when the 90s come through and it turns into street bombing, did any of you look at streets and see what was going on in the streets, even if you didn't write?
Yeah, I was always looking at graffiti no matter what, you know, especially, you know, coming from the Bronx or being in the Bronx. I'm definitely going to see who's around. And, you know, Easy was bombing all of the gates
well,
going down East Tremont, so Easy's definitely a street bomber for real.
Remember
A lot of guys.
Vet, Tabe, and Cope.
Yeah, Tabe, Cope.
That was it. That, you know, like Vet and Tabe was on one side of the Bronx, and Cope was on the other side of the Bronx.
Yeah, I gotta give Cope his props, because to me he started out pretty much like a throw-up kid, just doing regular bubble letter copes, which was pretty simple. But then he did elevate it, so I definitely give Cope props for that. He kind of brought some style to it, and you know, start using the colors.
But the three elements is like you have to get up, you have to rack, and you have to have style. Those are the rules. Now the fourth rule, everybody knows, you gotta learn to fight. That was Tracy.
You might have to throw hands at the bench at some point.
But those are the first three. Yeah, definitely had to be.
What year did the bench stop? Like stop being popping?
Man, that's after we.
I don't know. I was going by then.
Yeah, that was like when the trains turned.
And why would it stop popping?
Trains was being buffed.
Yeah, they got a
lot of the main writers. A lot of the main writers quit.
For this, yeah. And then the main guys quit. You know, I mean, the only ones that was really relevant was like Gizmo. It was that's the last one I know. Pretty much. There was another writer that wrote with him. I forgot. Then you had Ernie, who changed like the style within computers and stuff like that. You know, that was a little. You know, it's a little argument with him and Don, who was, you know, who really brought the, you know, the real change, you know, to get more real and putting it as a, you know, in the computer. So it's either between him and then Don, you know, but they still, you know, have those T.M.T tendencies, you know, yes, and stuff in their pieces and whatnot. But, you know, you have one that they just bought the Blockbuster, what they used to call those little number cubes, but it was like, we call them blockbusters and things, and lighting effects into lettering and art, you know. So if you see the light shining on letters and things, and you see letter forms now, they got lighting effects. Before you just had shines and things. Yeah, you see the shines on my piece, yeah. But now you got lighting effects and things. And people like, you know, from the left, to the right, you know, and different shadow effects and stuff. So, you know, it keeps us alive really, and then it keeps an argument going. So, you know, oh, which is this better? You know, because you know the old guys are gonna say, nah, you ain't got too much. You know, we got the more style, and we can style our names more. But you got the blockbusters and things. You know, what can you do with things but try to twist them or whatever.
When y'all was racking, did you go for any type of paint, or did you go for certain type of paint? Did you go for like strictly Rusto, or strictly Krylon, or what did you go for?
No. First of all, you're really going for whatever you can get. I mean, but most of the stores that's what they had. You know, you had certain stores that you would go for Rusto, certain stores you would go for Red Devil. I mean, for me, Krylon had a lot of colors, but it was kind of watery, with the exception of one or two colors, like True Blue, you know. But most of the colors was kind of watery till they came out with like the Chippewas, Adobes, and that time period. But the yellows, the oranges, some of them joints was real watery. You could use them for designs, but not too great for filling. But that was my favorite was Red Devil. I like Rusto, but I love Red Devil, man. Listen, I love Red Devil.
The white guys would say it's supreme quality.
Yeah.
Because now they got fucking paint and caps for everything. You know, I know back then it was the caps you had to use. How it was hard to even do a fill-in and not get the shit to drip. So how could you do like all those pieces come out so nice, and like it took time to master.
That's the
paint.
part of being the master. So you use the right words. See, just like Picasso's and the Rembrandts, there's masters within graffiti, and this is what set you apart from the average writer. It was the ability to master that can, because exactly what you're saying, man. That stuff came out like with high pressure, It's really, really, hard to push, right? Hard to push. And you had to be able to control that paint and not get, without the drips.
See, the ones that wouldn't drip that much would be Red Devil.
Right.
If you had Red Devil Black or Red Devil Mahogany Brown, there was your outline there. I mean, you had the perfect outline color there. I mean, even Chinese red. The crack was Krylon. Krylon was the crack. Okay, they had the colors, but the only thing about Krylon, they end too quickly.
And a little watery, some of it.
Some especially when it got cold. Especially when it got cold.
No, that was fed yellow.
Right? Especially when it got cold. Krylon did not stand up well in the cold. But check it, bro. We love the interview. But even though we in our 60s, moms is calling us for dinner. She says it's time to eat, brother. Okay? Maybe we can do it again, get a part 2 or something. But it's been a pleasure. I ain't gonna speak for everybody. I'm gonna speak for myself. Thank you for having us. They can say they finished it. Thank you for having us. I want to see, even though he's not a writer, I want to say rest in peace to Rich Homie Quan, right? To Rich Homie Quan, right? The MC, the rapper. And, another loss, man. Another loss, a super talented young man. And, just condolences to his family. Rest in peace, Rich Homie Quan.
Yo, I want to thank all of you guys for sharing this history with us. I learned so much tonight about a lot of things. Thank you so much. It was a super treat for me, and I just want to. I can't even believe that you even came on the Graph Champ show. That's how much we appreciate
it, bro. It's a good show. You're doing good things. It's a great platform. I love it, man. It's not believe in yourself. We believe in you, man. Don't short yourself. It's a good show, cat.
Word up, word up. Appreciate you for having us on. Respect.
Yeah, we got to give a shout out to Bach, Padre in 131. And we also have a deck that passed away, things of Death Squad, rest in peace, DEK. Bach had passed away, the Padre, that rest in peace with him. And of course, our founding fathers, Phase, and
Case 2.
Definitely.
We can go on and on, man.
We can go on and on.
And that's why this is important, man, because we ain't none of us getting no younger, man. So the thing you do, capturing the history, this is great, man. All of these guys I came back and met, half of them gone, man. I came back on the scene, I met Lava, he's gone. I came back on the scene, I met Nick 707, he's gone. I came back on the scene, I met what's my man D3, he's gone. You know what I'm saying? Like we not here, man.
Right away, you meet them, and then all of a sudden they're gone. So it's important that we have this history.
Yeah, definitely. Respect to Flow 149, one of my first members in T.M.T, one of the first members that got down with us. Rest in peace to Flow. He passed away maybe about a year or so ago, but it was a lot of T.M.T members that passed away. Harrow, EN 007.
005.
I mean 005. What am I trying to say? Taibu 2.
AD Rock.
AD Rock. Mo. Yeah. A lot of folks.
And Satch, I think. Is he? Yeah.
Yeah, I think Satch passed away. So many good brothers.
Oh my God. God bless these guys. I tell you.
I feel, salute to that. Salute to the TMT crew. Salute to the legendary Chain. Motherfucking SKEME.
The magnificent team. Magnificent team.
Legends in the building. Thank you again, fellas. Salute, man. You gotta X yourself out on the top. That was Graph Champs.
All right, salute the Graph Champs, brother.
Thanks for having us again, bro. Salute.
Peace, that's all.
Legend. Right there, bro. Peace. I can't believe that was history dropped on us that only those men could drop. And you heard what they just said? They said it. This is important. You got to come and tell your story. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? You never know what's going to happen, man. Rest in peace to Deck WGF. You know what I'm saying? Like, the man said it himself right there. You heard SKEME. We had KADE, and we had CHAIN3. You heard legends, my nigga. You heard? That was Graph Champs, episode what, 6, season 4. I'm your host, SR the Vertical, Murtical, Squirtical, all over your girls' Liz Nips. You heard? Peace.